Hello, my name is Freyja Harris, as many of you know, and I am the Chief Executive Officer of the Coalition for Home Repair. I'm happy to welcome members, partners, and funders to our annual impact call to share the past year's accomplishments, lessons learned, and plans for the future. For those of you that are new to the call, the Coalition for Home Repair has been committed for the past 14 years to supporting home repair nonprofits nationwide to enhance their capacity and effectiveness in serving the repair and modification needs of low and moderate income homeowners. I'm particularly grateful to introduce the coalition team that you see on the screen has grown over the years. You can see our staff on the slide here. And last year, we welcomed Vinay Damasai, the program manager for HUD's Older Adult Home Modification Program, actually just this past October. Now, let us get started. Today's agenda includes current events, organization updates from various staff members, ending in an advocacy update, review of national home repair trends, member impact data, and at the end, we'll have an open Q&A. You can put questions in the chat box throughout the call, and we'll answer them then, or we'll hold them until later if they do require a little more time, and we'll follow up with you. While our call today will be celebratory for our members, another goal is to share our plan to meet members' needs and grow home repair programs nationwide. Yet we cannot start this call without acknowledging the unknown threats facing human services in the U.S. and the mission of thousands of nonprofits to address social injustice and inequities for millions. Regardless of whether we are allowed to have a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy as a federally funded recipient, our values and our vision have not changed. The Coalition for Home Repair remains committed to creating a welcoming and supportive environment where all staff, nonprofit members, business partners, vendors, board members, and most importantly, the beneficiaries of home repair are treated with respect and dignity and offered an opportunity to thrive. Our vision is to protect affordable homeownership for future generations, lessen the number of low-income homeowners displaced into unaffordable rental markets, and reduce the wealth gap. As critical federal funding faces the threat of cuts and elimination, many people with low incomes risk losing important programs related to housing, food, childcare, and healthcare. These programs are not luxuries, but essentials to helping households survive and bridge the equity gap to thrive. Like many of you, we're watching federal programs with interest. It's more important than ever for us to be united in advocacy and approaches to withstand what lies ahead for our neighbors. This leads me to share with you the visual that you see on the screen. I have this created to depict why home repair needs must be addressed alongside increasing housing inventory. It is a visual that builds upon itself in the way that I attempt to explain to future members, our partners, and funders why this issue affects us all. New home ownership programs are not enough to close the wealth gap. The reason is that what you see in the blue bar. Our country's housing legacy is built on a foundation of systemic disinvestment in all sorts of communities and structural racism that is being further exacerbated presently. Yet low and moderate income individuals and families have been able to achieve the American dream because of policies and programs designed to address those inequities for millions. But just like our bodies, homes age with us. However, there is not the same level of policy and programming to support sustaining homeownership and to build equity, especially in an atmosphere of rising cost of homes, utilities, and shortages of contractors. Although there is advocacy and funding to produce new housing, home repair modification resources are much less. In addition to only beginning to compile the data on the need for home repair to demonstrate the severity of the issue, in the meantime, homeowners have the added obstacle for trying to repair their homes without the adequate credit, limited access to insurance, tangled titles, complicated processes for grants, and funding out of sync. Because of these issues are abundant and growing, low and moderate income homeowners are falling through cracks, which result in sending them back to the unaffordable rental market. There's a loss of neighborhood fabric, a loss of tax base, and increased public health costs of individuals and communities. This is all preventable, and why we all must tell this story to those with the agency and the resources to change the trajectory of American homeowners. Throughout today's call, you'll hear opportunities for advocacy and collaboration. You'll also hear about planned and upcoming training programs to help organizations stay connected, build resiliency, and be best equipped to meet the needs of their communities. One of the best ways to stay connected is to partner with our advocacy efforts. Emma Carrasco will talk briefly about our upcoming Day on the Hill. I turn it to you, Emma.
Thank you, Freya, for framing that so powerfully. And I agree that the programs on the line are not luxuries, but lifelines, and the stakes could not be any higher. It is essential for all of us to make sure our voices are loud and clear and to advocate for increased investment, not reductions in the programs that sustain and strengthen our communities. So, as we chart the path forward, one of the most impactful ways we can come together is through our Day on the Hill on June 17th, taking place during National Homeownership Month. This will be our first Hill Day in recent years and marks the start of an annual effort to advocate for housing programs that help people remain in their cherished homes, programs that provide vital home repairs, modifications, and support to ensure stability, safety, and dignity for all. Registration isn't open just yet, but the link in the chat box is where you can track all of our scheduled events and visit later for new events. Part of our advocacy is communicating about our members' impact. So at the end of the call, I'll share lots of data, but throughout the call, we'll have some member wins. And so we welcome you to celebrate those wins in the chat box or make connections with members. I'm going to pass it back to Freya, who's going to come back on to share a win and her executive update.
So throughout today's call, we will be sharing a variety of wins. These are diverse, just like our membership, but we welcome you to celebrate wins and members in the chat. Our first impressive win is from Louisville Metro Government Office of Housing and Community Development. They developed and strengthened relationships with our local nonprofit housing providers. So now I would like to share with you some updates about things going on with our coalition. And our organization has built its capacity to do more with additional staff and funding. We have also built our national brand, which is recognized as a prime source of best practices and a convener of our national partners that support our vision. As a result, we were featured in actually four national publications: Yahoo Business, Business Insider, USA Today, and Newsweek, and have been acknowledged by our partners in their own publications and presentations. I uphold the belief that a rising tide can lift all boats. So I am grateful that so many other organizations are riding this tumultuous wave with us, including those national and regional organizations that you see on the screen. Next, I'd like to share some of our other events that have been going over the past year, as well as things that are forthcoming. As a nationwide organization, I want to highlight that we have been asked to do a variety of presentations and exhibits in the past year. A few of them that I will share with you. We were asked to present on a panel at the UN Habitat Conference in Montreal. We also hosted our Reframe Conference in Detroit for the first time, holding the conference outside of Tennessee, which is our state of origin. We will continue to move our conference throughout the year, and we'll learn more about that later in this session. Also, we were able to speak at a member event, the Big Skills Day with Rebuilding Together East Bay Network in California, as well as coordinated and hosted a collaborative virtual session with other Robert Wood Johnson Foundation grant recipients called The State and Ambition of Home Repair in the U.S. It included recipients including New York University Furman Center, Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies, Partnership for Housing Affordability, and the National Council for State Housing Agencies. It was a wonderful collaborative event that really showed how many different types of organizations care about this issue. And lastly, I was asked to present on a panel with the international representatives at the World Urban Forum in Cairo that focused on the effects of climate change on housing. In this month alone, I have been invited to present and represent the Coalition for Home Repair on some additional events. The first being to present at a panel with the Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies called Improving America's Housing 2025 release. This will occur on March 20th, and registration is still available. Then on March 27th, I will be facilitating, or more like moderating, on a session called Detroit Home Repair Solutions Lab. That will be hosted in collaboration with Enterprise Community Partners, Gilbert Family Foundation, and the Van Dusen Leadership Forum. I actually reside in Detroit, so this is a particular opportunity that's very close to my heart. We'll be working on offering a live stream to folks who are not located in Detroit. And if you're interested in joining that call, just please let us know. The really amazing thing about that event is that it was a result of the conference being held in the city of, or in the Metro Detroit area. When the Van Dusen Leadership Forum discovered that we were doing this and they had a similar interest, we immediately joined forces and saw the opportunity to take a conference and turn it into action. This is something that we hope to continue with each of our annual conferences in each of the cities that we host, so that we're not just holding a conference, that we're learning about the community and then helping that community to move forward with home repair solutions. Then in April, Emma Carrasco and I will be presenting in Portland at the Western Region Habitat for Humanity Conference on the needs and trends to support aging in place. It is because of the hard work of my staff and our members that we are being recognized and invited to share our expertise, research, and the tremendous value of home repair and modification as an essential component to addressing the affordability crisis in the United States. Now, I'm honored to introduce our finance manager, Rose Smith, to share some member wins and a brief financial update. Rose, I pass it to you.
Thank you, Freya. Yes, I love those member wins. So one is for our Sierra Service Project. Megan Taylor shared that it was their first year of providing 100% grant-funded building materials for home repair projects, which is awesome. Another member win comes from St. David's Mission, where Aaron said we received our first federal grant. Those are significant milestones. So congratulations to SSP and St. Vincent Mission. The Coalition for Home Repair is in a programmatic growth phase that we are committed to sustaining by diversifying our revenue sources. Now, in the last quarter, specifically September, a little bit earlier, September 2024, we secured our second federal grant of $1 million for the Older Adult Home Modification Program, which will serve low income older adults in East Kentucky with our coalition members as subrecipients. Yet these uncertain times for federal funding have made it more of a necessity to diversify our funding sources. Therefore, in the coming months, we are securing a fundraising consulting firm to assist us in developing a plan to raise funds from individual donors and philanthropic foundations nationwide. We will also offer two new services for a fee. One, local home repair coalition building and technical assistance, and two, home repair nonprofit physical sponsorship. To learn more, you can contact our executive director, Freya. We are also grateful to continue offering certified aging in place specialist training as a result of grant from the Edward and Wanda Jordan Family Foundation. This foundation has been supporting us since 2021 with funding for our Reframe conference, our operations, our CAPS training, and we specifically want to shout out, thank you, Edward and Wanda Jordan Family Foundation, for your consistent belief in our mission and our impact. Finally, our organization has earned a seal of transparency. This is exciting because it's from Candid, formerly known as GuideStar, indicating that we publicly share significant amount of information about our finances, our programs, our mission and operations, demonstrating a high level of transparency to potential donors and the public. Essentially, it states that we are open and accountable for all of our activities, our program activities, and financial details. Now, Jill is going to give us a member win regarding our VHRMP update.
Thank you, Rose, and hello, everyone. And I want to give a special welcome to all of our VHRMP subrecipients. I see many of you are on the call today. But before I talk about VHRMP, as Rose mentioned, I want to share a member win from Space Coast Habitat for Humanity. They created a new program called an Act of Grace that pairs volunteers from the area's military operations with work for veterans being done through their critical repair program. The Act of Grace program created a new opportunity to create bonds between their mostly aging veteran clientele and members of a very active local military community. Benefits include new friendships for aging vets and exposure to true life heroes for young soldiers, airmen, and sailors. This connection commitment helped them serve more veterans in need, and many critical repair jobs completed were completed this year involved their military veterans. Now I'd like to talk just briefly about the Veterans Housing Rehabilitation and Modification Pilot Program, or VHRMP. VHRMP currently has 12 subrecipients in 6 states. To date, we have completed 5 repairs and 10 have currently begun, which is a really big deal, and I'm really excited about that. It's been a long journey to get here. Some of the repairs include ramp installations, bathroom modifications, roof repair and replacement, HVAC repair and replacement, and deck repair. We wanted to share a video from one of our VHRMP subrecipients about one of their completed repair projects. And in this video, we get to hear from Mr. Clark, a U.S. Army veteran who benefited from repairs.
Let me pull that up and make sure we've got captions.
I'm Stephanie Moorhead, the Director of Housing Rehabilitation here at AIM in Anderson County, South Carolina. We were one of the nonprofits chosen by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and HUD to pilot this program. It's called the VHRMP. It's the Veterans Housing Repair Modification Pilot Program. We were so excited to be able to do this, and it was great to be able to help these disabled veterans. They had to qualify multiple ways for their income, their disability status, and lots of other ways to show that they were in the requirements to get this funding from the Department of Veterans Affairs. We have helped 4 disabled veterans so far, and Mr. Edward Clark is the last one we have helped.
I'm Edward Clark Sr. In March 26, I'll be 80 years old.
What'd you serve in?
I served in the Army.
What years?
I joined, and I joined to go to Vietnam, but I got sent to Germany. I was in a quartermaster.
Are you disabled from serving?
Yeah, it's from that disc, yes. But with what you guys have done, I managed to get around and do something. I'm not a couch potato. So no matter how I hurt, I try to keep on going, because I know if I sit still trying to make it work. So everything that's been done so far, it's just been so helpful. It's unreal.
This is Mr. Clark's bathroom. Did a tub to shower conversion for easy access and made the toilet higher, handicap accessible with vanity repairs.
They redone this whole floor. They tore everything up, they redone the floor.
This is the bathroom the contractors did. They made a handicap accessible toilet, easier for access, and fixed the sink for repairs. We repaired the front columns on his porch that were rotten. All 4 got replaced.
Just pleased with the service that they gave you with this bathroom and everything. Everybody done it with such heart and everything. It was just unreal. I'm well pleased with their manners and everything else. I couldn't have asked for better. I personally would recommend AIM to anyone with professionalism that they have and everything, and the care and interest. And I'd put my name on anything that they're doing. I'm really pleased.
Right. Well, thank you so much to AIM and to Stephanie, who I see is on the call, for making that video and for all the hard work they're doing. We're really proud to work alongside our subrecipients to make these repairs possible. And obviously, all these repairs are given at no cost to the veterans, and the veterans have to be disabled and of a certain income level to qualify for these free services. Again, thank you so much to our subrecipients. They've worked so hard on this program, and they've been flexible along the way as this program has changed and grown. And we really appreciate it so we can do these kinds of services to veterans like Mr. Clark, so they can maintain their independence and live safely in their communities. Next, Benet is going to share a member win and an update on the OMAP grant.
Hello, Hello, everyone. So our next member win will be Kendall at Renovation Alliance. They shared this win saying, we secure a new community partner who granted funds to establish an emergency home repair program and will be involved in volunteerism. This new program helped us meet the urgent repair needs of 9 neighbors in 2024. So that is awesome. So here's some updates on OMAP. So exciting updates that we have on the OMAP grants. So we have welcomed 3 new OTs to our team, strengthening our capacity to support communities effectively. We also currently have 4 subrecipients, and they are all making progress as well. They should be beginning outreach efforts pretty soon. We also are looking forward to the Neighborly platform launching very, very soon, which will be a great big deal. Not a lot of updates right now, but things are moving forward and we are very excited for what is ahead. So now I'm going to pass it on to Melanie, who's going to share some marketing updates.
Thank you, Vinay. Awesome. So here's a member win from Gateway Housing Service Project. They received their first grant for metal ramps, growing their impact. I know that's been a fun thing to see our members who received some CAPS training a few years ago come back in and grow their programming by metal ramps. So I'm going to give a brief little marketing update today. So 2024 was a really big year for us, just reiterating some points Freyja shared earlier, but we did go global with international speaking engagements that are really just helping us raise awareness for home preservation, but also really build our credibility as an organization and just being seen as an expert in this space. These speaking engagements are really a primary goal for us, so please do keep us in mind, whether you have a local event, a local conference, a housing meeting, we're always sort of available. We'd rather have the opportunity to know about it. If we can be there, we're gonna try to be there. So please let us know, especially for our members. And some other fun wins from last year in our marketing were that we implemented digital toolkits, which can be found on our website under the advocacy resource library, and Emma helped a ton with these, but we have introduced 2 topics so far, one on housing equity, and it includes data and case studies and a free training video, and then we've done another one on older adults, and so they're really fun to have just a living sort of example of where members can go and get up-to-date resources, links to publications, and beyond. So that's been a fun addition. Another big win from last year was our 2024 Pinnacle Award cycle, which we presented at Reframe Conference in Detroit. We had a fun cocktail reception that was really well attended. So I do want to congratulate our 2025 winners. So Good Neighbors Home Repair won the Pinnacle of Excellence Award. Jason McCullough at Brothers Redevelopment won the Professional Excellence Award. The South Carolina Appalachian Council of Governments, nominated by member Rebuild Upstate, was our Partner of the Year. And Senator John Fetterman was named as our Advocate of the Year. So a really positive change we made in 2024 was we broadened the Partnership Excellence Award so that all nominees who meet the criteria are named as a National Partner of Excellence. That's a really difficult award to score consistently because partnerships are so diverse. So moving forward, we're going to continue to offer that and really lean into that as a member benefit so that members can nominate a local partner and help them receive national recognition. And we hope that members will use this in alignment with their own stewardship goals to help elevate those partnerships. We are going to name a Partner of the Year, and that is going to be focused on a partnership that might have a particular interest to other members if it's scalable or replicable. So an example of that is our 2024 Partner of the Year, South Carolina Appalachian Council of Governments. also known as ACOG, and they are the local area agency on aging in upstate South Carolina, and they have funded more than $1.2 million in home repairs and modifications. And they are actually doing a case study for us in April, I believe, for leading into Older Americans Month, which would be in May. And so if you're interested, we've got Tim from the ACOG who oversees their program, and he's going to share about working with a home repair nonprofit, all the things about establishing it, working together. So I hope that if you have an opportunity to register for that, if you're interested in building a partnership with your local AAA, that will be available. And so the 2025 Pinnacle Awards are open, and if you want to apply, the timeline, we will close applications in mid-June. We will notify in July prior to early bird pricing closing for Reframe Conference, because if you win, you do get 2 free tickets to Reframe Conference. So definitely worth applying. And I'm happy to answer any questions. If you think you're a fit or you aren't sure, please just send me an email. We'll talk about it. So this year we will be celebrating our Pinnacle Awards again in the evening of our kickoff at Reframe Conference, and we will be sharing a lot more about this opportunity and our members throughout the year. And up next, we are going to dive into some more programming updates and some more conference updates with Megan.
Awesome. Thank you, Melanie. Before I jump into the programming updates, I'm excited to share 2 big member wins. First one comes from Rachel at Home Repairs for Good, who shared, "We've expanded our workforce development programming to now include a program that acts as our ability to earn income." And second, we had Habitat Montelco share that they've scaled their staff and programming to meaningfully expand service delivery as part of a $7.2 million multi-year home repair grant. That is huge. Thank you guys for sharing those with us. And moving into our programming, we have about 120 members right now all across the country. Last year, we funded CAPS training with a focus cohort for 15 staff members. We hosted more than 12 webinars for remote learning, and we've been growing our data collection process thanks to Emma and Anika, and we're continuing to ramp up our network building. We'll also be offering CAPS again this year, coming sometime in the summer, so keep an eye out and subscribe to emails to get more information on that. This year, we also have more webinars on the calendar to support members. You can see here some of what's currently planned for the next couple of months. And like Melanie said, the next one on building a partnership with the AAA is next month. And we'll drop a link to the training calendar in the chat. We're always adding new topics, but please feel free to reach out if we haven't covered a topic that you'd like to see. Thank you to everybody who completed our member engagement survey, which has really helped us in planning our programming for this year. And we hope to see you at an upcoming webinar. Another key part of our programming is obviously our annual conference, and 2024 was our biggest conference yet. We welcomed over 200 staff members from more than 100 organizations to Detroit, and our sessions ranged from collaborative workshops to technical trainings, and attendees also got to go on a community tour that showcased social services, neighborhoods, and some of Detroit's history. We're proud that our presence in Detroit has led to continued local programming, as Freyja mentioned, with the Home Repair Solutions Lab that's scheduled for later this month. So just a little bit more about that. It's a full-day forum that will bring together housing practitioners, funders at all levels, corporate and philanthropic partners, and Wayne State students and faculty to explore innovative strategies for expanding home repair programs in Detroit. The Wayne State Richard Van Dusen Urban Leadership Forum creates a platform for analysis, focus, dialogue, and action to provide leadership and implement initiatives for the betterment of urban communities. And the Home Repair Solutions Lab is presented in partnership with the Coalition, the Detroit Citywide Home Repair Task Force, and the Detroit Home Repair Fund, which is supported by the Gilbert Family Foundation. So looking forward to that event as well as our 15th annual Reframe Conference, big year. And so this year's conference will be held from November 12th to the 14th in Kansas City. Thank you to the Hope Builders Home Repair team for helping welcome us to Kansas City. Last year's conference was our largest to date, and we're excited to continue growing and uplifting the importance of home repair. We're always looking for session topics and speakers, and actually our call for speakers just opened today. Session proposals will be accepted through July 7th. And now I'd like to hand it off to Emma for some advocacy and data updates.
Thank you, Megan. I'm glad to be sharing 2 member wins, starting with Annabelle at Mountaintop, who shared this win, expanding our general service area from 7 to 8 counties, and also expanding our grant-funded major home repair service area from 1 to 2 counties. I love this. It's a huge step forward in reaching more communities and making an even bigger impact. Next, we have Habitat for Humanity of Oregon, who launched the Unlocking Homeownership campaign last year to advocate for greater investment in homeownership. The goal of this advocacy campaign is to elevate the critical need for resources to increase affordable housing production across the state by mobilizing their constituencies to advocate together in support of a comprehensive homeownership package during the 2025 legislative session. I'm so happy to hear this. I can't wait to see how this united push will make waves in this legislative session and beyond. Given the current climate, it's become real essential for us to strengthen our advocacy and partnership building efforts. And so to enhance our impact, we've restructured our advocacy task force. In 2024, the advocacy task force met every other month, but our new structure now offers something every month and is split into 2 groups. We have our Housing Preservation Collaborative Solutions Group, facilitated by Susan Williams, our Executive and Human Relations Specialist. This is an open forum for collaboration and idea sharing, focused on tackling challenges, brainstorming solutions, and advancing housing preservation goals. The second group, named the Housing Preservation Advocacy Learning Series, features expert presenters who dive into specific topics related to housing preservation advocacy and is also followed by a Q&A session. Both groups remain free to join at any time, and we've already seen how this new structure has contributed to a more focused and effective advocacy platform. Sign up for updates on advocacy, including meeting reminders and opportunities to get involved. As we look at the broader national landscape, we see that home repair continues to be a central issue for homeowners across the country, with many facing challenges in maintaining older homes and addressing repairs that affect their health and safety. There is growing recognition that these critical repairs are not just about upkeep, they're key to promoting long-term health, preserving generational wealth, and stabilizing neighborhoods. So we're seeing a growing focus on making home repair programs more equitable, ensuring that households with low incomes have access to resources needed for essential repairs and long-term stability. This includes tackling challenges like untangling property titles, as you all saw at the beginning with Freyja's great diagram there, which often prevent families from accessing critical support, and strengthening also coordination and partnerships among organizations, government agencies, and community groups to maximize impact and ensure efficient resource distribution. Another exciting development is the recent reintroduction of the Whole Home Repairs Act to Congress. Modeled after Pennsylvania's successful program, this bipartisan bill seeks to create a national 5-year pilot to support homeowners and small property owners with critical repairs. This includes weatherization, energy efficiency, accessibility modifications, and structural repairs. And this bill aligns very closely with our mission and signals a shift in national policy aiming to make home repair programs scalable and sustainable so more households can stay in their homes safely. Next, I'll share some member data. First, I want to say thank you to all our members for having submitted an impact report. We know it takes a lot of time to gather and submit the data that we ask for. But we do use this collective data to seek grants and resources on behalf of members. So let's take a look at these numbers. Here are some highlights. Over 6,700 total homes were repaired by our members in 2024. And this year we made a focused effort to capture more data on manufactured housing, not shown on the slide here, but I'm mentioning it here. It reveals that over 1,200 of the homes repaired by our members were manufactured homes, and that's over 18% of the total number. This valuable data will help us pursue grant opportunities focused on addressing the unique repair needs of manufactured housing residents. Our members completed over 25,300 home repair and modification projects, and over 14,200 residents were served in last year alone and now live in a safe and healthy home. Since 2016, more than 70,500 total homes have been repaired by our members. And members have helped at least 164,000 low-income residents access safer housing since 2016. Among these residents, members have helped more than 84,500 older adults, 55,500 people with disabilities, and more than 9,000 veterans. This data can also act as a helpful benchmarking tool for organizations as they measure and compare with others with similar budget sizes. And so that's what you see here. On average, each member repaired about 107 homes. 3.3 is the average number of repairs made at each home. And the average total residents served by a member organization was about 226 for program year 2024. The graphic here shows the average number of home repairs by budget size. Notably, small, large, and extra large organizations all saw increases of up to 22% in homes repaired when we're looking at 2023 to 2024. In contrast, medium organizations, which are those with expenses between $250,000 and $1 million, they saw a 42% decrease in homes repaired. However, medium organizations made significant strides in new home construction with an 81% increase in new homes built compared to the prior year. So this shift is something we're going to be looking at a little further in our benchmarking report, which is set to be completed by late April. This report offers valuable insights into trends, identifies areas of strong performance, and pinpoints potential gaps or opportunities for improvement. In addition to receiving this benchmarking report, another perk of submitting this data is that all member organizations who submitted this data have been entered into a drawing for a $1,500 Lowe's gift card. And we're excited to be announcing that winner right now. I'm going to be looking at my spreadsheet here. Number 23 is Housing Development Alliance is who this $1,500 Lowe's gift card is going to. They're actually one of our OMAP subrecipients too. So congratulations, and I'll be in touch with them on next steps to redeem their gift card. I'll now pass it back over to Megan.
Thank you, Emma. Always love a gift card drawing. That's one of our favorite traditions at the Coalition. And thank you for sharing that powerful data. We'll continue using those trends and challenges as we craft our programs. I'd like to share one last member win from one of our Kansas City members, Jerusalem Farm, who shared that they completed their second community land trust home in 2024. The home was previously abandoned, but after a remodel, conversion to all electric and solar installation, the new homeowner paid just $9 on her November electric bill. So that is huge. And as a reminder, before we move to our Q&A section, this year's conference will be held from November 12th to the 14th in Kansas City. I just want to reshare our call for speakers link, and we really appreciate you sharing this with your networks. We'll have sessions on topics like aging in place, outcomes measurement, healthy homes, organizational development, construction, and so much more. Session proposals will be accepted through July 7th. Next, Freyja is going to be available for some questions or comments. If you have a question, please feel free to put it in the Q&A feature so that we can make sure we don't miss it. But again, thank you all for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. It has been, honestly, this is my second year, was in February. 2 years have gone by very quickly. So much has just arisen, opportunities we weren't even expecting, and we are looking forward to continuing to grow and to support our members. If you are interested in becoming a member, there's all sorts of types of membership, and Megan would be your go-to person to do that follow-up. But in addition to being a nonprofit home repair member, you also could be a member as a city government. That is a slightly different membership, but and has a different pricing scale, but that's another way of becoming a member. There's also business partners. So if you have products, services that can benefit our members, we have great benefits for you. We are all about showcasing our businesses at our conference throughout the year. We'll have your back, and especially if you're going to give our members a deal. So definitely follow up if you have any of those things to offer. But then we also have individual membership for $100. So as an individual member, you're able to access all these great webinars for free. You're able to get a discount at the conference like everybody else, and you're able to be part of our vision. The vision that I believe all of us share, to have individuals and families in safe and healthy housing, whether it be rental or home ownership. And so your individual membership is just as valuable, and you become part of our network as an individual. So even if your organization or business can't become a member, think about becoming a member yourself, because you'll still get access to those benefits for yourself as well. So please feel free to submit any questions or comments into the chat, and we will do our best to answer them or follow up if they are a little more complicated.
It looks like we have Katie raising her hand. Let her speak.
Wonderful.
Okay, Katie, you should be able to talk now.
I think you're based to be on mute, though.
Looks like it was.
Oh, it was an accident. Oh,
yeah.
not a problem at all. We're grateful for your attendance. And even as you may think of things in the future, I'm sure many of you may have a variety of questions, just trying to kind of process all the information that was shared today, which is a lot. I also wanted to mention that visual that we created. If you feel that that would be of help to you in making your case with your community, with your legislator, with your neighbor even, feel free to reach out to us. Emma would be the one you would contact in that respect. And we also definitely hope that we would have many of you join us on our first Hill Day, or be part of it virtually, just being able to reach out to your legislator. Oh yes, there is. Kim Gore said, "Hi, Benet. Please send us an invite to discuss OMAP." So yes, we will be continuing to work on our OMAP project. And so for those that are involved in that, even if you are seeking to pursue that particular grant, we have actually had some of our members who want to pursue either OMAP. I'm not sure if VHRP is going to be offered again, but that's the sorts of benefits that you have as a member, is that you get to have that one-on-one conversations with us, learn from our successes as well as our mistakes, so that you can do even a better application and can secure those resources. We are not about competing with our members for funding. If anything, we are going to make sure that you are first in line, and that if we're able to secure funding that you maybe couldn't apply for directly, that money gets passed down to you. We also have members who send us grant opportunities saying, hey, we just got this great grant, maybe you can get it too. We just really love the collaboration. And it again, rising tides lift all boats. So please continue to share anything that you believe would benefit your fellow members or partners.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't look like we've got too many questions, but if anybody does have anything, feel free to reach out to any of us. We'll also share this recording out with everybody who registered and put it in our video library. But thank you all so much for joining us today. And thank you to everybody for sharing your member wins and your impact reports and all of that. It's just so critical to help us share the importance and uplift home repair. So thank you all.
Thank you.